Welcome to the top of the morning show. It's your girl TT from the D. Happy hump day, y'all. It's Wednesday, no matter where you are, unless you're on the other side of the country. Now, when my husband is in other parts of the world, it would align and say, okay, today may be Wednesday for me, and it may be Thursday for him, or it could even be Friday, depends on how far he is. And I get used to that sometimes, right? If I'm signing myself, setting alarm clocks and trying to be on task, and it's hard, it's difficult, but when we try to align our priorities with our goals, sometimes it's not going to align at the same time. So this is Hump Day Wednesday, y'all. I have 5 tips to help you align your priorities with your goals that I want to share this morning. I found them quite interesting, and I thought to myself, why not share? Why not? Now let me ask you, and this is rhetorical because of course if you respond I wouldn't be able to hear you, but are you constantly feeling tired and burnt out, like you don't have another ounce of nothing to give anybody, including yourself? I'm gonna wait on it. Let's pause. Take a cigarette break for those of you that smoke. No, I'm just playing. Luckily, I have 5 tips for you to help you align your priorities with your goals. But before we get into that, I want to say thank you to all of my listeners, no matter where you're listening from around the world, whether you're listening on Spotify, Anchor.fm, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. I want to say thank you, because without you being the listener, I wouldn't be able to have the energy to constantly go. Whether I have 1 listener or 100 listeners every day, it doesn't matter, because you know what I believe? I'm here for the one. All right, so let's jump into it. Now, we all look at TV, social media. We watch people live their best lives according to what we see. But we don't know if that's really them living their best lives. We don't know if those cars and homes are borrowed, rented for the day, the week, the month, the year. We don't know. And of course, I'm not talking about rented in the means of how we rent our cars, as far as monthly car notes, or I'm not saying that, or monthly rent, whether it's mortgage or it's a lease. I'm not saying that. And you may look at them and think to yourself, my version of success would be quite different than their version of success. You may think like, oh, they're winning and I'm losing, but are you sure? Or perhaps your version of success is being able to just close your laptop at a decent time and not work over that time, and really have the evening or the afternoon or the morning, depending on what shift you on, to yourself, or able to share that time with your child or children, or if you have a significant other or a spouse or somebody you like, spend it with them. And then let's not ever forget that we always constantly feel we won't have enough money unless we're millionaires and we're extremely rich. We can be comfortable, but at the end of the day, we still wonder, will I have enough money for this and that? Not only for right now, but for later. Okay? The point I'm trying to get to is we have to align our goals and our priorities. Sometimes we have to begin with that self-conversation. You know, I've talked about that, because we have to put ourselves in the mindset that we need to create progress so we can move towards our goals, whatever that might look like for you. Okay? If it's building a business, then do that. If it's buying a home, then do that. Whatever it looks like. But of course, I would never recommend or say, if you want to build a business, you better be posting on social media every single day. You better not sleep. You better grind until you don't have nothing else to give. You better work days, nights, weekends. No, I'm not going to say that. And a lot of people do. They work themselves to the grave, literally. So if you're juggling a lot of things like most of us are, like I like to tease and say, oh, I wear many hats. I do. And I'm sure you do too. Or you may have at one point in your life, or you getting ready to. Anything can happen, right? But we want to assume positive intent all the time, right? And you probably heard yourself say, or people you know say, my issue is I don't have enough money, or I don't have enough people who believe in me, or I'm working 10 times harder than my peers in order to just try to accomplish this goal. I give up. I quit. Let me give you these 5 tips. Number 1, write it down. You heard that saying, write the vision and make it plain. And I know it sounds really cliche and very basic, but it is just that simple. Write it down. Because a lot of times we have some great ideas, and by the time life continues to happen for us, we're like, oh my God, I was thinking about, and we have the brain fog. Well, if you got a smartphone, like most of us do, then use your voice notes if you are not near a paper, pen, book. You know, you get it. Because it's a game changer when you can write down your visions and your goals and actually go back to them and start to align them. Number 2, eliminate and delegate. What does that mean, TT? Well, think about the things you don't really need to be doing, the places you don't need to be going, the money you don't need to be wasting. For example, you could trade some of your expert advice for support in your own business. You give such great advice to other entrepreneurs. What about you? And chances are their businesses may not align with yours, and you may be on 2 different programs, and that's fine. But would they jump ahead if given a chance to give you that same great advice that you give them? Will they, or have they poured into you like you have or you would into them? Now that's rhetorical. Remember that. Number 3, decide what is important versus what's urgent. Now say it with me again. Let's say it together. Not everything in business is important just because it's urgent. Let's say that again. Not everything in business is important just because it's urgent. First, let's define the difference between urgent and important. Right? Urgent things are things that, like, okay, I fly out today. I need to make sure that I have transportation to the airport. I need to make sure that when I land, I have a place to stay. That is urgent, right? Important things like supporting your goals and success, right? Making sure that you get to work on time. Making sure if you have a child or children that you pick them up from school on time. That's important. Now that we're on the same page and you get the idea of what I'm laying down, as my partner Tam would say, I hope you're picking up what I'm dropping. I want to encourage you to prioritize the tasks that are important versus urgent. Okay? Number 4, create a plan. If you want to dig deeper and to make it the most of your time, be productive. Create the time. All right? Some of y'all need a planner because your mind is cluttered like some of y'all homes is cluttered. I know I am not a hoarder, but I am a clutter freak sometimes. It gets to a point, I'm like, this is too much. I have a nightstand and I'll put something on, like I'm gonna put that away. Then life happens and I'll put something else. I'm like, okay, I'll put that away. And then life happens. And then you come up and you're like, I can't even see. No, you get upset and you start moving things in its proper place. But if we were being productive, we wouldn't have that problem. Number 5, and the final one for today, commit to consistency. I know you have had to hear how it is important to be consistent. It stands out. In order to achieve the success that I believe you're looking for, I know that I'm looking for, we got to be consistent. And if you've been following me, I'm consistent with my social media. I do my best to be consistent. And even when I'm working on projects or I might not be feeling well, things like that, I try to be consistent. I try. And nothing beats a failure but a try. And that means that you have to try. You have to try a little bit harder than you did yesterday, because today is a new day. Well, that's all I got for you this morning on this Hump Day Wednesday. Don't let nobody steal your joy, and don't steal your own joy. Spread the sunshine. Be the joy in someone's song that they sing today. It's your girl TT from the D, and I'll see you soon.